My name is Cheryl Chebet. I'm 15 and I'm at the Aga Khan Academy. I'm going to do a project about teenage pregnancies.
So can you tell me exactly why you chose to do this?
I chose to do this project because I'm a teenager and I wanted to hear their stories. Because when I hear them on news, it's just the old people talking and I don't hear their voices and what they say and their stories.
Poa.
Unaweza niambia story yako?
Nilikuwa naogopa. The person who got me pregnant alitaka nitoe juu niko form 4.
Kama uja have sex, unakuwa pushed na some of your friends. Wanakucheka tu hapo, wanakuacha hapo.
Teenage pregnancy is a big issue in Kenya. We've had various voices from adults, but we've not had any voice from young people. Join me, Cheryl Chebet, as we hear these voices of young people by a young person. This is Kibra Slum in Nairobi. It's one of the world's largest informal settlements. I am here to meet girls my age whose girlhood has been cut short by motherhood. At the Polycom Center, a group of teenage girls and boys are attending a life skills session supported by UNFPA. All the girls in today's session are either mothers already or expectant. They are sharing personal experiences about their journeys to motherhood, their tears, fears, and their joy, if any.
I got pregnant when I was 18, form 4. It was hard for me to accept that I was pregnant. Ikakuwa ngumu kuambia hadi wazazi.
Venye nilikuwa na bao, niligundua niko na mimba. Ilibidi nisimamishe kusoma kwanza.
Unajua mimi nilikuwa na problems mingi, home challenges. Yaani ile unaona kama mtu anaweza kukusaidia. Hivyo so mimi nikadhania nimepata mtu wa ukweli.
Zawadi, not her real name, is 5 months pregnant. Her bulging stomach indicates the calling to motherhood, which the 15-year-old class 8 pupil says she isn't ready for.
Aliniambia ati ukikunywa majani inaweza kukusaidia utoe. But ile nilijaribu nikajaribu pia nayo ilikataa.
Zawadi's story is the same as that of many other girls who upon conceiving attempt to procure unsafe abortions in order to hide the shame and get rid of the responsibilities that come with being a parent. The lack of support from home is another reason Zawadi attempted to terminate the pregnancy.
Ilikuwa stress.
She, however, knows that many of those who try backstreet abortions never make it, a reality that made her change her mind.
So nikaona it is like I'm taking myself kwa risk pia nikaachana naye.
The story of Zawadi is similar to that of Irene Imani, not her real name, only that Imani managed to terminate her pregnancy.
Unaweza niambia story yako?
Nilipata ball nikiwa class 8. Nilikuwa 15. Sasa mimi niliona tu nitoe.
Like Zawadi, her parents did not want to hear any of it. She was even chased away from home, shunned for bringing shame to the family.
Mom na dad ni mkali. Sasa nikasema tu ndafanya juu chini mpaka nitoe.
The rejection from her parents and the reality of responsibilities ahead made her procure the abortion, which almost killed her.
Sasa venye alinifukuza home, nikaenda kwa boy, nikambembeleza tu, nikatoa.
Sasa hizi ungependa kuambia nini wasichana umri yako?
By the way, si poa vile kutoa ball.
According to WHO, an estimated 3 million girls under 20 years sought unsafe abortion in 2008 in countries where abortion is illegal. Each year, 25 million women and girls around the world have unsafe abortion. Mary Akini, not her real name, is another girl from Kibra who got pregnant while still a teenager. Still getting used to motherhood, her mother helps her change her 3-week-old baby. The Form 4 student says that being pregnant while at school was the most difficult period in her life. The arrival of the baby just last month was another shocker At the first-time mother, like many teenage mothers, had no idea of what to do with the little one.
Nilikuwa naogopa.
Her mother has become her biggest support.
Lakini wakati alijifungua mtoto hata kushika ni ngumu. Mtoto anapata kama ni kumchange. Ni mpaka mimi ndio nimsaidie kumchange. Kulala ndio lala na mtoto kwa kitanda. Unapata amelala amejisahau. Mimi ndio nichukue yule mtoto, nifanye nini? Nimpatie hata matiti, kumpatia. Nichukue ile matiti na nini kwa mtoto, kwa mdomo ya mtoto.
On the other hand, we have Susan Avianbu, a 31-year-old mother of 6 who will soon be a grandmother and is also expectant.
Tafanya aje na imeshakuwa.
Her teenage daughter is pregnant and currently living with her aunt in Kayole on the other side of Nairobi. This is because in her culture, it's a taboo for mothers to be pregnant at the same time with her daughter in the same household. Avianbu remembers too well her experiences as a teenage mother and has vowed to take care of her daughter despite her unintended pregnancy.
Mimi hawaku ni handle kama wazazi vile wanaweza handle mtoto amtulize nini. Mimi walinifukuza.
Her being chased from home led to an early marriage.
Mimi hata nilitamani kunywa sumu ili nikufe juu ya maisha nilikuwa napitia. But mama mwingine ndiye alikuja akaniambia niko na mtu pale anataka mwanamke. Ndio nikaenda. Kwa kwanza nilipata nikiwa na 15, kwa pili nikiwa na 17, kwa tatu nilipata nikiwa na 19. Sasa after huyo wa tatu ndio mama mwingine niambia tuende family planning.
She says she doesn't want that for her daughter.
Ningeweza kuambia wazazi wengine enyewe mtu anasikia uchungu juu ni kitu yenye hujatarajia. Mpango yako pia unaona tu ni kama mtoto ameharibu mpangilio yako. Sasa naweza ambia wazazi wenzangu wenye wanapitia hiyo shida ama wenye watoto wao wamepata mimba, wasiwe na roho ya juu ya hasira, waongeleshe tu watoto juu hiyo sio mwisho wa maisha ama hiyo sio mwisho wa kila kitu ya mtoto.
Another girl, 18-year-old Eve Margaret, not her real name, takes me to her home to meet her baby. It's a tiny house about 2 meters squared. Eve, a 19-year-old mother of one and a high school student, counts herself lucky that she's at home now that schools have been closed due to COVID-19. She has gotten time to bond with her 1-year-old baby, who is often taken care of by her sister. But it has been difficult to provide for her child. The pandemic has worsened the situation as jobs are not easy to come by.
Unapata unategemea wazazi pia mapato yao ni kidogo juu ya hii COVID-19.
Eve is determined to go back to school and work hard to ensure a better life for her daughter and herself.
Ningependa niambie government kama anaweza nisaidia kuendelesha masomo yangu na kusaidia mtoto wangu, hata unaweza kupata sponsor kama hizo.
Teenage pregnancy is a global issue. Worldwide, approximately 16 million girls between the age of 15 to 19 and 2 million girls under the age of 15 become pregnant every year. In Kenya, 9,000 teens get pregnant daily and 13,000 drop out of school yearly. According to the KDHS, the national teenage pregnancy prevalence is 18%, meaning about 1 in every 5 teenagers between the ages of 15 to 19 get pregnant. The rates have remained unchanged since 2008. Although Nairobi County has a prevalence rate of 17%, which is lower than the national one teenage pregnancy is still a lot. Nairobi's 2019 data shows that 24,113 adolescents between ages 15 to 19 carried a pregnancy, while those between 10 to 14 were 2,432.
How do we allow people to go around impregnating young girls and we don't speak about it? Waambie tutagojea DNA alafu wewe ndio utachukua huyo mzigo. na utalipa. Na wewe chief wa area hiyo, wewe lazima utasema what were you doing when these children were being abused.
There are arguments that school closures have exposed adolescents to greater risk of becoming abused and getting pregnant.
And even a teenage boy can make you pregnant.
Parents, on the other hand, have been faulted for not playing their roles on matters of sex education.
Hii ujinga ya pregnancy inatoka wapi? What is it? Can we take our parenthood back? Can we take our parenthood back?
Mimi naonelea tu tukue huru na watoto wetu kama wazazi. Juu hiyo ni kitu iko. Tunaweza waambia ukishafikisha hata 13 years, ukimove na mwanaume unaweza pewa, anaweza kukupea mimba.
Hadi mtoto wa primary bado anaweza peana mimba. Kashafikisha ako adolescent stage. Kila mtu anafaa wakanseliwe equally, kwa sababu si msichana ajipea mimba.
Ni wafunze tu wote, kwa mtoto si inataka watu wawili na mtoto apatikane. So ukifunza msichana, basi lazima tufunze tu kijana.
Restrictions on movement have also made it harder for girls to access contraceptives and family planning services, and mandatory curfews have trapped girls in homes with predatory family members and neighbors.
Nimemwongesha kuhusu family planning na akaniambia ina shida. Kwa sababu najua sasa bado ni msichana na ataenda adanganywa na uko nje. Tena usitukie ndio hiyo ingine.
According to KDHS, the drivers of teenage pregnancies are inadequate sexual information among adolescents with a knowledge level being about 50%, sexual and gender-based violence, with data showing that 7% of the girls ages 15 to 19 have experienced sexual violence compared to boys. Barriers in access to formal education, 33%. Girls with no educations are more likely to become pregnant compared to the 12% with secondary education and above. Early initiation of sex. 57% of girls and 57% of boys have had sex by age 18. Poverty. Girls from poor households are 3 times likely to get pregnant than those from wealthier backgrounds. Child marriages. 14% of the adolescent girls are married.
Please introduce yourself on camera.
I sat down with a UNFPA country representative to know what the organization is doing to help solve the problem.
We support the various agencies of government and civil partners to strengthen the evidence base. So what are those things that make teenagers vulnerable to teenage pregnancy? What are the factors that drive it? What is the rate? Where is it worse? So we look at the evidence. What has worked? What didn't work? What do we need to do differently? Then we support with policy. It means that we support places like the Ministry of Health and other relevant agencies with the kind of policies that they need to put in place for health sector and other sectors to respond to challenges such as teenage pregnancy, and then working with communities, particularly young people, to empower them themselves to be able to take the right decisions that will ensure they are not vulnerable to teenage pregnancy. So it's holistic.
While doing my research, I didn't find the data of dropouts in school. Isn't this a gap?
It is a gap, no doubt. The issue is that school dropouts may drop out for a range of reasons. What you might be able to find a little bit more if we tease deeper is you would find the number of girls who probably got pregnant, were known, stepped out of school. Some of them are able to go back, but only a little percentage of them are able to go back. So strengthening the evidence base, like I said, the database is very important because we need to have so much evidence to be able to know what the problem is and what we have to do differently.
Kenya made a promise to reduce teenage pregnancy to 12% by the year 2020. This is yet to be achieved, and it is clear that for the reduction to happen, then the national and county government, as well as other stakeholders, must make an effort to address the drivers of teenage pregnancies.
Don't you think that teenagers need to be involved, given that this is our issue?
Definitely. I think what has happened a lot of the time, and unfortunately still continues to happen, is a lot of policymakers and adults speaking for young people. Yes, there must be some intersection between older people and young people, but the voices of the young people themselves need to be heard.
The rising numbers of teenage pregnancies show that a lot needs to be done by all stakeholders. Cheryl Chebet at the Aga Khan Academy.
Thank you.